Hello? I was born in Far Rockaway, New York. I was raised in Long Island, Island Park, New York. Harbor Isle, actually. Let's see, Harbor Isle, so I was born in 55. My parents moved there in May of 54. I was born in February of 55. I always say I was their celebration of moving into Harbor Isle. At the time, it was a new community, a small island of about 400 residents, probably about 95% Jewish. A lot of kids my age moved there, so I grew up in a very small neighborhood. Everybody knew everybody. There were a lot of kids my age, played in the streets, went to small school together. By the time I got to high school, they wanted to build a high school where I grew up, and we didn't want them to because it would be such a small community that we kind of said, don't do that. My parents, Mac Semel, was born in Brooklyn. I get it mixed up. Both my parents were born in Brooklyn. My mother's Arlene Joan Anchor Semel. And they were both born in Brooklyn. One of them was born in Greenpoint, the other one Williamsburg. I never get it right. My dad was not educated, but he was a very bright guy. Had a great sense of humor, he could be a very warm man, and he was a very compassionate man. And my mom was educated, very bright, got her master's, I think at 40 or 50 in reading. She was multilingual, just taught English as a second language, and I would say it was challenging to be their child. My first job was working at a Chicken Delight, which is kind of like a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I lasted 3 months. I think I ate so much that they were like, you're out of here. First girlfriend. Her name was Gara Goldenberg, very smart, very sure of herself. I hated school. I was a terrible student. So I got out of high school and started working for a carpenter. Probably would have been happy doing that. I love working with my hands. So let's see, I was 19 years old and I was a lifeguard. And my parents had a barbecue. My grandmother was there, or my bubby, and my aunts and uncle and cousins. And in my dining room, there was a mirror probably about 6 foot by 8 foot that was on a wall. And it had been there for years. And I got to the dinner late, and everybody had already eaten, and I was sitting with my back to the mirror. My dad was just beyond the mirror, sitting with me, noshing and just being with me. And all of a sudden I see my dad looking at me in horror, and I'm thinking, what the hell? And all of a sudden I feel wham on the back of my head, and I hear crashing all around me. And the mirror had fallen off the wall, and my head was the fulcrum of this massive sheet of glass. And so I'm sitting there for a moment, and everybody is just freaking out. And don't move, don't move, don't move. My aunt went and threw up, and I had like a scratch, and that was it, nothing. And my dad was continuing to eat, and my mom got pissed off. I think it was more just the whole scenario. And my mom goes, "That's it, Mac, just keep eating." So when I was 20, I hurt my back, and somebody said, "Why don't you go to a chiropractor?" And I didn't know what the hell a chiropractor was. I went to the chiropractor and really liked what they did, and I said, "What does it take to become a chiropractor?" And they said, "Minimum 5 years of school." I said, "See you later." When I hit about 26, I started taking classes at Santa Monica College, chemistry, anatomy, that kind of science stuff, and I did very well. And I wanted to do something that I enjoyed for my career. And I decided that I could not like school and get through it. And got my license, and I've been a practicing chiropractor for 27 years. And I worked for a chiropractor named Joe Horrigan, and he was instrumental in the chiropractor I've become. I fell in love with what I did and found that through working with him, because it was a hands-on situation, that I was really good at it. I got a certification in advanced sports injuries, and I wound up working for a chiropractor after Joe. I worked for a very talented chiropractor down here in Newport Beach named Tim Brown. And I wound up getting involved working with the Pro Surf Tour and the AVP Beach Volleyball Tour, and I found that working out in the field was my greatest passion, so I've had a lot of opportunity to do that. I've been working for 10 years with the PGA Tour as one of the chiropractors of a group of us, and the same thing with the beach volleyball, and the same thing is I work better with a group as opposed to being a solo. It's all about me. People would describe me as silly, good sense of humor, bright, warm. I think I'm the proverbial nice guy. I think I'd say my proudest accomplishments are the relationships I have with people in my life. So I should say Jack is Catherine's brother. He is no relation to me in blood. He's Catherine's half-brother, but we have a love affair. I love that kid to death. Well, I think most recently what I'm learning about myself is I'm a very sensitive male, which has its challenges, but also has tremendous gratification. What am I really bad at? Paperwork. Excuse me. I hate paperwork. Fucking makes me nuts. Some advice that I would give to my grandchildren and great-grandchildren is to find something in life that you like to do as a career. Makes a big difference. If money were no object, I'm old enough to be retired. I would be retired. I'd be retired. I'd do some volunteering. I'd go to the gym. I'd travel some. With my short remaining years, I'm more of the same. I'd like to work less, although I do like what I do. Some of what I do, I like to continue doing that in some capacity. Spend more time with my family, with the people in my life. My proudest accomplishment? My daughter's my proudest accomplishment. How to live a happy life, my list would be don't take things so seriously. Find something that you like to do. Try not to be so judgmental and critical. Be accepting of people, be compassionate, learn empathy.